Ladies and gentlemen, hey everyone, I stand before you today not just to speak, but to remind you, each of you, of the power you already hold. The power in your voice, the power in your stance, the power in your presence. For too long, too often, we have been told to shrink, to soften, to yield, but that time has passed. The time now is for standing tall, for speaking boldly, for owning every conversation with unwavering grace and undeniable strength. You see, conversations are not just words exchanged, they are declarations of self, affirmations of worth, and bridges to understanding. So when you speak, let it be known that you are present. When you enter a room, let the air shift in recognition of your arrival. And when you engage in discourse, let your words be rooted in truth, dipped in wisdom, and wrapped in the unshakable knowing of who you are. Too often we are taught to fill the silence, to soften our words so they do not ruffle feathers, to add a laugh at the end of a sentence so it does not land too heavy. But we are not here to decorate conversations with niceties that do not serve us. We are here to be heard, to be understood, to be felt. Speaking with intention means knowing why you are speaking before the words ever leave your lip. It means understanding that your voice is not a courtesy, it is a necessity. When you speak, let there be a reason. Let your words build, let them carve, let them lay foundations. Do not speak just to be agreeable. Do not speak just to be pleasant. Speak because your words are valuable, because they hold weight, because they matter. When you enter a conversation, do not let it sweep you away like a leaf in the wind. Plant your feet firmly, know what you bring to the table, and set it down with conviction. If you have a point to make it. Do not shrink it. Do not tuck it between unnecessary apologies. Do not whisper your truth while others shout their opinions. Say what you mean and mean what you say. This does not mean filling the air with unnecessary noise. It means being deliberate. It means choosing your words with care, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Every word you speak should have a home, a destination, a purpose. Do not allow your voice to be background noise in a conversation where you deserve to be a leading force. And when you speak, do not ask for permission. Do not shape your words like questions when they should stand as statements. You do not need validation to express your thoughts. Your voice is enough. Your mind is enough. Your presence is enough. And when you speak with that knowing, the world listens. There will be moments when others try to rush you, try to interrupt you, try to shift the conversation away from your words. Do not let them. Take your time. Let your words land. Let silence do its work when necessary. A pause is not a weakness. It is a strength. It commands attention. It allows your words to settle. It shows that you are in control. Do not fear a firm tone. Do not let politeness rob you of power. You can be gracious without being timid. You can be kind without being invisible. When you speak, do so with a voice that carries, with words that are heard, with a presence that cannot be overlooked. When you speak, be clear. Let your words cut through the noise, not be lost in it. If you do not believe in what you say, no one else will either. Stand behind your words as though they are the very ground beneath your feet. Let them be steady. Let them be unwavering. Let them be undeniable. And if ever doubt creeps in, if ever you question the strength of your voice, remember this. You were given this voice for a reason. You were given your thoughts, your ideas, your wisdom, your insight for a reason. You were not meant to sit quietly while the world moves around you. You were meant to shape it, to influence it, to own your space within it. So speak with intention. Speak with certainty. Speak like your voice is a force, because it is. Speak like your words are a gift, because they are. Speak as though the world needs to hear what you have to say, because it does. And when you do, do not waver, do not shrink, do not yield. Speak and be heard. There will come moments when the ground beneath you seems to shift, when the room is filled with voices louder than yours, when doubt whispers in your ear, telling you to step back, to quiet down, to let someone else lead the conversation. But you must resist that urge. You must plant yourself firmly, stand tall in the fullness of who you are, and speak without hesitation. Holding your ground does not mean shouting. It does not mean overpowering others with volume. It means knowing that what you have to say is worth hearing. It means refusing to be drowned out by noise, refusing to let uncertainty creep into your words, refusing to allow others to dictate how much space you are allowed to take up. When you enter a conversation, do not look for permission to exist within it. You are not an afterthought. You are not a guest in your own dialogue. If you have something to say it with the strength of knowing that your perspective is valid, that your experiences matter, that your insight is valuable. Let there be no question in your voice, no hesitation in your tone. There will be those who challenge you, those who seek to undermine your confidence, those who believe their words carry more weight than yours simply because they are louder, bolder, more insistent. Do not let them shake you. Do not let them make you doubt what you know to be true. When someone interrupts you, do not shrink. When someone questions your words, do not fumble. When someone dismisses your thoughts, do not let frustration take your voice away. Instead, stand steady, breathe, reclaim your space. Return to your point with clarity and composure. Let them see that you are unshaken, that your voice is not easily silenced. And if you do not know something, do not let that make you feel small. Confidence is not about having all the answers. It is about knowing that you are enough with or without them. If you need time to think, take it. If you need to clarify, do so with grace. But do not let uncertainty weaken your presence. Do not let anyone make you feel that you must apologize for not knowing everything. Strength is in how you carry yourself, not in the illusion of perfection. The world has taught too many of us to apologize for our existence in conversation, to add "I'm sorry" before making a point, to end strong thoughts with nervous laughter, to ask, "Does that make sense?" when we know very well that it does. Let that habit die. Let it fall away like old skin that no longer serves you. Your words do not need an apology. Your thoughts do not need permission. When you hold your ground, you teach others how to treat you. You show them that you will not be talked over, dismissed, or ignored. You show them that your voice is not easily swayed, that your confidence is not easily broken. And when you do that, you begin to shift the very air around you. People listen differently when they know you are unwavering. They think twice before cutting you off. They sit up a little straighter, not because you demand it, but because your presence commands it. And if ever you feel the old instinct rising to shrink, to back down, to let the moment pass, remember this: you are not here to be small. You are not here to dim yourself for the comfort of others. You are here to take up space, to speak with purpose, to exist in your full power. So when you speak, stand firm. When you share your thoughts, own them. When you enter a conversation, know that you belong. Hold your ground. Let nothing shake your voice. We have been taught that to be heard, we must always be speaking, that to hold space, we must fill it with words. But power is not always in sound. Sometimes it is in the absence of it. Sometimes it is in the pause between words, in the breath that is not rushed, in the quiet that makes the room take notice. Silence is not weakness. It is not surrender. It is not a gap to be filled out of nervousness or discomfort. Silence, when used with intention, can be sharper than the loudest voice in the room. It forces people to listen, to sit in the weight of what has been said, to understand that you do not rush to speak just to prove yourself. When you choose to hold silence, you show that you are in control. that you are deliberate, that you are not moved by the pressure to respond before you are ready. There will be moments when you are met with interruptions, when someone rushes to speak over you, when a room full of voices drowns out your own. Do not always fight for space with more sound. Sometimes a well-placed pause commands more attention than a hurried response. Stop speaking, let the moment settle. Let your silence remind them that you will not be pushed aside, that you will not fight to be heard like a child begging for attention. Let them feel the shift. Let them recognize that they have taken up space that does not belong solely to them. Silence can also be a tool of understanding. When you listen more than you speak, you gather knowledge. You read the room. You see where the conversation is going before you step into it. Too often we rush to respond, eager to prove our place, eager to ensure that we are not left out of the dialogue. But true power lies in knowing when to wait, when to observe, when to allow the conversation to unfold, so that when you do speak, your words are not just heard, but felt. There will be times when someone tries to bait you into an argument, when they push you with words designed to provoke, to shake you, to draw you into a space of defense. It is in those moments that silence becomes your armor. Not every comment deserves a response. Not every question needs an immediate answer. Not every challenge requires you to prove yourself. Some moments demand restraint, not reaction. Let your silence speak for you. Let it say, I do not entertain nonsense. I do not engage in battles that do not serve me. I do not need to justify my presence. But silence is not just a tool for holding ground in conversation. It is also a space for power within yourself. When you allow quiet to exist, you make room for clarity. You give yourself a moment to think before you speak, to choose your words with care, to ensure that what you say carries the weight it deserves. There is strength in pausing, in resisting the need to fill every gap, in knowing that your words are too valuable to be spoken carelessly. And when you do speak, after a moment of silence, let your voice let the contrast between stillness and sound amplify your message. Let the room lean in because they have been waiting to hear what you will say next. Let your words land with precision, not wasted in haste, not drowned in excess. So do not be afraid of silence. Do not fear the pauses. Do not mistake quiet for lack of power. Use it. Own it. Let it serve you. And when you do speak, let your words be no one is born with unshakable confidence. It is not something gifted at birth, not something reserved for the chosen few. Confidence is built, shaped, and strengthened over time. It is a muscle that must be worked, a habit that must be formed, a ritual that must be honored. It is not about arrogance or dominance. It is about trust. Trust in yourself, in your knowledge, in your right to take up space, in the value of what you bring to every conversation. There will be days when doubt lingers like a shadow and your voice wavers before it leaves your lips, when you question whether you belong in the space you are in. But confidence is not the absence of doubt. It is the choice to stand tall in spite of it. It is the decision every single day to believe in yourself, even when the world tries to shake that belief. Confidence is not something that simply appears when you need it. It is something you prepare for. It is built in the moments before you step into the room, before you open your mouth to speak, before you enter the conversation. It is built in how you carry yourself, in how you stand, in how you breathe before you say a single word. It is built in your posture, in the way you make eye contact, in the way you enter a space without hesitation. Confidence is not just in your voice. It is in your presence. It is the unspoken energy that tells the world, I belong here. And if confidence does not come naturally at first, that does not mean it cannot be yours. Practice it. Train yourself to hold your head high, to steady your voice, to claim your space. Stand in front of a mirror and speak as though the world is listening. Say your name with power, with certainty, with the full weight of who you are. Watch how your body shifts, how your shoulders square, how your voice deepens with conviction. This is not pretending, it is preparation. It is teaching yourself to embody the confidence that is already inside you, waiting to be acknowledged. There will be people who try to test that confidence. They will challenge your words, question your knowledge, dismiss your presence. Do not let them shake what you have built. Confidence does not mean knowing everything. It means knowing that what you do know is enough. It means speaking with certainty even when you do not have all the answers. It means understanding that your worth is not tied to perfection, but to the strength with which you stand in what you do know. And let it be clear, confidence is not about speaking the most or the loudest. It is not about dominating a conversation. It is about knowing that when you do speak, your words carry weight. It is about choosing quality over quantity, about knowing that silence can be just as powerful as speech, about understanding that confidence is felt as much as it is heard. When you cultivate confidence, you teach others how to engage with you. You set the standard for how you will be treated. You command respect not by demanding it, but by embodying it. People listen differently when they know you believe in what you are saying. They think twice before dismissing your words when they see that you do not question them yourself. So practice confidence like a ritual. Prepare for it like a habit. Strengthen it like a skill. Let it live in your voice, in your stance, in the way you enter every conversation. And if ever doubt tries to creep in, remind yourself, confidence is not about never feeling uncertain. It is about never letting that uncertainty define you. The world will always make space for those who know what they are talking about. Confidence, presence, and intention are powerful, but without knowledge, they are only surface deep. True power in conversation comes from knowing your ground, from speaking not just with certainty, but with substance. When you walk into a room, step into a discussion, or engage in a debate, do not come empty-handed. Come armed with knowledge, with understanding, with facts that cannot be easily shaken. Preparation is not about memorizing every possible answer or drowning yourself in endless information. It is about being intentional with what you learn, about equipping yourself with what matters. If you are stepping into a conversation about your work, know your field. If you are debating a topic, know your stance. If you are speaking about your experiences, know your worth. Preparation does not mean you must know everything. It means knowing enough to stand firm, to back your words with understanding, to ensure that when you speak, there is weight behind your voice. There will always be those who try to challenge you, who assume they know more, who attempt to use their words as weapons to undermine you. But knowledge is a shield. It allows you to speak without fear, to answer with clarity, to counter uncertainty with facts. When you are prepared, doubt has no place to settle in your mind. When you have done the work to understand what you are speaking about, hesitation fades and conviction takes its place. And let this be understood. Preparation does not mean rigidity. It does not mean rehearsing until your words sound scripted or refusing to listen because you are too focused on proving yourself. True knowledge gives you the ability to adapt, to engage, to challenge and be challenged without losing your footing. It gives you the ability to hold space in a conversation without grasping for words, to ask questions that deepen understanding rather than fill silence. Do not let others assume you are unprepared. Walk into every conversation with the quiet assurance that you have done your work. Know the weight of your words before you speak them. If you do not have an answer, do not pretend. There is strength in saying, I don't know, but I will find out. There is power in seeking understanding rather than performing knowledge. But do not mistake ignorance for confidence. Do not assume that presence alone will carry you. Respect yourself enough to prepare, to educate yourself, to ensure that when you speak, you do so with authority. And when you know, do not hesitate. Do not second guess yourself. Do not let insecurity whisper that your knowledge is not enough. Speak with the certainty of someone who has done the work, who has built their foundation, who understands that their voice is not just noise. It is informed, it is intentional, it is necessary. Because in the end, knowledge is not just about answering questions or winning debates. It is about owning your space in every conversation. It is about ensuring that when you speak, you do not just take up air, you bring something valuable to the table. It is about knowing that your voice, backed by understanding, is a force that cannot be ignored. The way you allow others to speak to you sets the tone for how they will continue to engage with you. From the moment you step into a conversation, you are teaching people how to treat you. If you allow interruptions, dismissiveness, or condescension to go unchecked, you silently give permission for it to continue. But when you set a standard, when you make it clear through your presence, your words, and your responses, that you will not be spoken to in anything less than a tone of respect, you establish a boundary that cannot be ignored. Demanding respect does not mean raising your voice or proving your worth in every interaction. It is not about meeting aggression with aggression or engaging in a battle for dominance. It is about standing firm in your own dignity, about carrying yourself with the unshakable certainty that you deserve to be heard, acknowledged, and valued. It is about making it clear that you do not tolerate being spoken over, belittled, or dismissed. There will be times when someone attempts to test that boundary, when they speak to you as if your words carry less weight, as if your presence is something they can choose to acknowledge or ignore. In those moments, do not shrink. Do not let discomfort keep you silent. Call it out, not with unnecessary emotion, not with defensiveness, but with calm, steady certainty. A simple, "I was speaking," or "I'll finish my point," can shift the entire dynamic of a conversation. You do not need to fight for space. You claim it by standing firm in your right to be heard. And if respect is not given, do not beg for it. Do not exhaust yourself trying to force someone to acknowledge your worth. Some people refuse to offer respect because they thrive on power imbalances, because they believe that control lies in making others feel small. That is their insecurity to bear, not yours. You do not argue for respect, you embody it, you command it, and if it is continuously denied, you walk away, because there is power in disengaging. There is power in refusing to stay in conversations where you are not valued. Some battles are not worth fighting. Some voices do not deserve your energy. If someone refuses to meet you with the respect you deserve, let them feel the weight of your absence. Let them sit with the silence left behind when you no longer lend your voice to a space that does not honor it. Respect is not something you earn by proving yourself over and over again. It is something you affirm within yourself, something you demand by the way you carry yourself, something you refuse to negotiate. Speak with the knowledge that you deserve to be heard. Engage with the certainty that you are an equal in every conversation. And if ever you are made to feel otherwise, do not lower yourself to convince anyone of your worth. It is not up for debate. Own every conversation with the knowledge that your voice is not just sound, it is power. It carries the weight of your experiences, the depth of your wisdom, and the strength of your presence. Hold your ground without hesitation. Let silence work in your favor. Cultivate confidence like a daily ritual, and arm yourself with knowledge that cannot be shaken. Demand respect, not with aggression, but with unwavering certainty, and never apologize for taking up space in any room you enter. This is not just about speaking, it is about owning who you are, standing firm in your worth, and ensuring that when you do speak, your words are heard, felt, and remembered. The world does not give space freely. You claim it. You shape it. You step into it with intention. So walk boldly, speak fearlessly, and never let anyone make you feel small. Your voice matters, your presence matters, and every conversation you enter is an opportunity to affirm that truth. Good luck on your journey to owning your space, your power, and your voice. Thank you. Laddies and gentlemen, oh my dear ones, let me tell you something true, something as certain as the sun rising, as the river flowing, as the wind whispering secrets through the trees. You were not sent here to shrink, to bend, to fold yourself into something smaller just to make others comfortable. No, you were sent here to take up space, to shine, to walk with a knowing in your spirit, a rhythm in your step, and a fire in your soul. Too many people spend their days trying to fit into spaces never meant for them. They lower their voices when they ought to sing. They straighten their backs when they ought to dance. They quiet their laughter when they ought to let it ring out like church bells on a Sunday morning. But let me tell you, the world is already full of echoes. It does not need another one. It needs you, the real you, the bold you, the undeniable, unshakable, unrepeatable you. Oh, my dear ones, hear me now. You were not sent here to be a shadow, an echo, a faint reflection of somebody else. You were placed in this world, carved from light and purpose to stand as your own. You are not a copy. You are an original. There has never been another you, and there never will be again. So why waste this rare and beautiful existence trying to fit into shapes that were never meant for you? Too many walk through life afraid to be seen, afraid to be known. They trim their edges to fit into places that do not deserve them. They hush their voices to keep from stirring the air. They fold themselves smaller and smaller until they disappear into the background, thinking that safety lies in blending in. But let me tell you, child, safety is not the same as living, and a life spent hiding is no life at all. There is a reason why you think the way you do, why you love what you love, why your laughter sounds like music only you can make. That reason is not meant to be buried under the weight of what others expect of you. It is meant to be celebrated. You must walk through this life like the miracle you are, with your head held high and your spirit unshaken. Do not let them convince you that you must dim your light to make them comfortable. Do not let them tell you that being yourself is too much, too loud, too different. Oh, let me tell you something. Every great soul that ever walked this earth was once called too much. Every voice that ever changed the world was told to hush. Every light that ever shined bright was asked to soften, but they did not, and neither should you. You must own every part of yourself. The way you speak, the way you think, the way you love, the way you dream. You must wear your personality like a crown, not like a burden. And if they do not understand you, that is not your concern. You were not sent here to be understood by all. You were sent here to be true to yourself. Confidence, my dear, is not arrogance. It is not boasting. It is knowing who you are and walking in that truth without apology. It is looking in the mirror and seeing not just a body, but a story worth telling, a life worth living fully. So laugh loudly if laughter is your way. Speak boldly if words are your gift. Be gentle if softness is your strength. Move through this world as only you can, knowing that no one else will ever do it quite like you. And when the world tries to press you into a mold that does not fit, remember this: you were never meant to fit in, you were meant to stand out. And so, my dear ones, walk with grace, live with fire, love with all you have, and never forget, there is no one else like you, and that is your greatest power. Oh, my dear ones, listen close and listen well. There is a power in you that no one else carries, a rhythm in your soul that belongs to you alone. You were not made to be like anyone else. You were not fashioned to blend, to mimic, to follow paths already walked by others. No, you were created with something special, something rare, something that the world has never seen before and will never see again. Your uniqueness is your power. Never trade it for acceptance. Too many people spend their lives chasing approval, molding themselves to fit hands that were never meant to hold them. They trade their laughter for silence, their dreams for practicality, their fire for comfort, all because they believe that belonging is worth more than being true. But I'm here to tell you, child, that any place that requires you to shrink is no place for you. Any love that asks you to abandon yourself is not love at all. The world will try to tell you who to be. It will whisper in your ear that you must soften your edges, mute your colors, straighten your spine just so you can sit neatly in the spaces it has carved out for you. But you must not listen. You must not hand over your power for the shallow prize of being liked. What good is their approval if it costs you yourself? What good is a seat at the table if you must wear a mask to sit there? Do you know how many have walked this earth before you, lost to the weight of trying to fit? How many brilliant souls have dimmed their light just to make others feel comfortable? How many voices have gone unheard? How many dreams have gone unlived, all because someone somewhere told them they were too different? Oh, but you must not follow that road. You must not silence yourself to please those who fear your greatness. Your uniqueness is not a flaw, not a mistake, not a burden. It is a gift, a calling, a divine fingerprint left upon your soul. It is what sets you apart, what makes you unforgettable. It is what will draw the right people to you, the ones who will see you as you are and love you not in spite of it, but because of it. So do not trade your fire for ashes. Do not trade your melody for echoes. Do not trade your truth for comfort. Walk in your own way, love in your own way, dream in your own way, knowing that your authenticity is the greatest strength you will ever possess. And those who cannot see it, those who do not understand it, were never meant to walk beside you anyway. Hold your head high, keep your spirit unshaken, and remember always, acceptance is fleeting, but your power is forever. Oh, my dear ones, let me tell you something that will set your spirit free. Confidence is not arrogance. It is not pride. It is not standing taller so others must bow lower. No, confidence is knowing who you are and standing firm in that truth. It is walking into a room without needing to shrink. It is speaking without the weight of doubt pressing on your throat. It is moving through this life with a certainty, a knowing, a quiet fire that tells the world, I belong here. Too many have been told that confidence is a dangerous thing, that to stand firm in your worth is to be too bold, too proud, too much. And so they silence themselves. They fold inward, pressing down the parts of them that want to shine. They learn to doubt their steps, their voice, their very presence. But oh, what a waste it is to doubt the gift that is you. What a loss to the world when a soul that was meant to rise chooses instead to bow. You were not sent here to be unsure of yourself. You were not made to question the light inside you. That light is yours to own, to carry, to spread. Confidence is not something you must borrow from others. It is already inside you, waiting for you to claim it. And let me tell you, child, when you claim it, when you step fully into who you are, the world will take notice. Some will admire you, some will envy you, and some will try to break you. They will call you arrogant because they do not understand the difference between self-love and self-importance. They will mistake your strength for stubbornness, your certainty for ego, but do not let them shake you. Their discomfort is not your burden to bear. You see, those who have been taught to doubt themselves will always question those who stand tall. But you must stand anyway. You must love yourself anyway. And loving yourself does not mean believing you are better than others. No, my dear. It simply means knowing that you are enough, that you do not have to prove your worth, that you do not have to beg for approval, that you do not need permission to take up space, to speak your truth, to walk in your purpose. So lift your head. Let your voice be strong. Let your presence be felt. And if the world tells you to be smaller, tell them kindly that you were never meant to fit in their hands. You were meant to soar, to shine, to be exactly who you are, unapologetically, unwaveringly, beautifully you. And remember always, confidence is not something you wear for others. It is something you carry within, something no one can take from you unless you let them. Let me tell you something that will set your heart free. Do not apologize for being different. Do not lower your voice when it wants to sing. Do not straighten your edges when they were meant to be wild. Do not trade your truth for acceptance, for the world needs what only you can give. Too many people spend their lives twisting and turning, trying to fit into molds never meant for them. They tuck away their quirks, smooth out their uniqueness, and dim the fire in their souls just to be welcomed by those who were never meant to understand them. But tell me, child, what good is belonging if you must become someone else to stay? What good is love if it only embraces the parts of you that are easy to accept? The world will try to convince you that being different is something to be fixed, something to be tamed, something to be apologized for. They will ask you to blend in, to walk like them, talk like them, dream like them. But you must not listen. You were not sent here to be an echo. You were not made to be a shadow. You were crafted with care, every piece of you placed with purpose. And to change yourself for the comfort of others is to betray the very magic that makes you who you are. There will be moments when they do not understand you, when they whisper behind your back, when they look at you with eyes that say, "Why are you like this?" And in those moments, you must stand firm. You must smile, knowing that their confusion is not your concern. You must walk with a certainty that says, "I am enough just as I am." Because, my dear, being different is not a weakness. It is not something to be ashamed of. It is your power, your strength, the very thing that will set you apart in a world full of copies. It is the reason you will leave a mark, the reason your presence will be felt long after you have gone. And let me tell you something else. Those who truly matter, those who truly see you, will never ask you to change. They will never ask you to be less, to soften, to quiet yourself for their comfort. They will celebrate you, love you, honor you, not in spite of your differences, but because of them. So hold your head high. Do not shrink. Do not apologize. The world needs what only you can give. And that, my dear ones, is something no one can take away from you. Oh, my dear ones, let me tell you something that will set your spirit free. Silencing yourself to please others is like dimming the sun to comfort the shadows. It is a betrayal of the very essence that makes you who you are. And yet so many walk this earth with their voices held captive, their dreams hidden beneath layers of fear, their light locked away because someone somewhere told them they were shining too bright. But listen to me now. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. Your truth matters. You were not placed here to be silent. You were not given dreams just to keep them folded away like old letters in a forgotten drawer. You were meant to live, to speak, to stand tall in who you are. And anyone who asks you to be less, anyone who tells you to hush your soul, is not someone who honors your existence. The world has a way of making the bold feel like a burden. It has a way of telling the passionate to tone it down, the dreamers to be more realistic, the truth tellers to soften their words. But let me ask you, Chiley, what has ever changed by staying silent? What injustice has ever been undone by quietness? What dream has ever been fulfilled by shrinking? You see, those who walk in fear, those who are threatened by authenticity, will always try to hush the ones who dare to be different. They will call you too loud, too opinionated, too much. They will look at your fire and ask you to lower the flame so they don't have to feel its warmth. But you must not listen. You must not quiet your dreams for those who have given up on theirs. You must not suppress your laughter for those who forgot how to find joy. You must not soften your truth to make it easier for others to swallow. No, my dear, you must stand in your fullness. You must take up space. You must allow your voice to be heard. not as an apology, but as a declaration of your existence. There will be those who don't understand you. There will be those who think your boldness is defiance, your confidence is arrogance, your passion is recklessness. Let them think what they will. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Their smallness is not your burden. You were not made to fit into their expectations. You were made to be exactly who you are. So speak when you have something to say. Laugh when joy rises in your chest. Dream as wildly as your heart allows. And when they tell you to quiet down, to take up less space, to make yourself more palatable, smile and say, no, thank you, because you are the sun, my dear. You are meant to shine, and no amount of shadow can ever change that. Oh, my dear ones, hear me now and hear me well. Authenticity is magnetic. It pulls the right people to you. It carves the right path beneath your feet. It clears the air so you can breathe freely. When you own who you are, when you wear your truth like a second skin, you do not need to chase, you do not need to beg, you do not need to twist yourself into knots to be loved. The right people will find you, the ones who see you as you are, without needing you to shrink, without asking you to change, will come. Too many souls spend their days molding themselves into shapes that do not fit, trying to belong where they were never meant to stay. They walk into rooms and adjust their words, their laughter, their very essence just to blend in. But let me tell you, child, belonging at the cost of yourself is no belonging at all. What good is being surrounded by people who do not know the real you? What peace is there in wearing a mask that does not fit? You must trust that who you are, fully, unapologetically, beautifully, is enough. You must believe that your quirks, your fire, your softness, your strength, all of it is worthy of love. Because when you do, when you stop trying to be what the world expects and start being exactly who you are, something beautiful happens. The right people come, the right doors open, the right energy surrounds you, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. You see, the world does not need another copy, another echo, another person afraid to stand in their truth. The world needs more souls who walk boldly, who live fully, who speak without fear. And when you are that, when you move through life as yourself, without apology, those who are meant to walk with you will recognize you. They will see you and say, there you are. I've been looking for you. And those who do not understand, those who find your truth too heavy, your light too bright, let them go. Not everyone is meant to walk your path. Not everyone is meant to hear your song, and that is perfectly fine. For every door that closes, another will open. For every person who turns away, another will step forward, drawn not to the version of you that you pretend to be, but to the real, unshaken, unfiltered you. So do not chase. Do not beg. Do not change yourself for acceptance. Stand in who you are, love yourself fully, and watch as the right people, the ones who truly see you, come. And when they do, you will know that they are not here for a mask, not here for a version, not here for a performance. They are here for you. And that, my dear ones, is a love and a belonging that no force in this world can ever take away. Listen close and let these words settle in your soul. Walk in your truth, speak in your voice, and let the world adjust. You were not sent here to ask permission to be yourself. You were not born to fit neatly into someone else's expectations. No, you were placed on this earth with a purpose, with a rhythm, with a voice that belongs to you alone, and you must not let anyone take that away from you. Too often, people shrink themselves, soften their edges, mute their colors, just to make others comfortable. They dim their light because someone, somewhere, said it was too bright. They change the way they talk, the way they laugh, the way they love, just so they do not stand out too much. But tell me, child, what good is a life lived in hiding? What joy is there in wearing a mask that was never yours to wear? You must understand this. Your truth is your strength. Your voice is your power. And when you speak in it, when you stand in it, the world may not always be ready. Oh, they may whisper, they may look, they may question, but you must not waver. The world has never been changed by those who waited for approval. The world has never been moved by those who made themselves small. You must walk into every room knowing that you belong. You must speak your mind without fear of who might not agree. You must love, you must dream, you must carry yourself with a knowing that you are enough, just as you are. And if the world does not adjust, if they do not understand, that is not your burden to carry. You were not made to fit into their mold. You were made to break it. Some will embrace you. Some will challenge you. Some will walk away. Let them. Let them do as they must, but do not change. Do not shrink. Do not let their fear become your silence, because the ones who are meant for you, the ones who are meant to walk beside you, will never ask you to be less. They will never ask you to dim, to quiet, to pretend. They will love you fully, wholly, exactly as you are. So, my dear, stand tall. Speak your truth. Let your voice rise, and if the world must adjust, let it, but never again will you change yourself just to make it easier for them. Oh, my dear ones, if you take nothing else from these words, take this. Who you are is enough. Your voice, your presence, your dreams, your fire. Every part of you was placed here for a reason. Never let the world convince you to be less. Never trade your authenticity for acceptance. Never silence yourself to make others comfortable. You are not here to fit in. You are here to shine, to stand tall, to own your truth without apology. So walk boldly, speak fearlessly, love yourself fully, and trust that the right people, the right opportunities, the right path will always find you when you stay true to yourself. Let the world adjust. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a power deep and unyielding that lives within every one of us. It hums in our laughter, echoes in our struggles, and sings in our triumphs. It is the power of humanity, a force as old as time and as infinite as the stars. When we speak of strength, our minds often drift to images of physical might or unshakable resolve. We think of towering figures or those who appear impervious to pain. But let me tell you, there is a strength far greater, one that does not roar or intimidate, but instead soothes, uplifts, and heals. That strength is compassion. Compassion is not weakness, though some may mistakenly see it as such. It takes courage to reach out with tenderness in a world that often glorifies power through dominance. It requires vulnerability to open your heart to the pain of another, to share in their burdens, and to say, I see you, I feel you, I am here with you. Compassion asks us to step outside of ourselves, to transcend the boundaries of our own fears and insecurities, and to connect deeply with the humanity of others. This strength is quiet but unrelenting. It is the parent who rises each day, weary but determined to care for their children. It is the stranger who offers a kind word or a helping hand without expectation of reward. It is the healer who works tirelessly to ease suffering, the advocate who speaks for those who cannot speak for themselves, and the friend who listens with an open heart. Compassion gives us the power to mend what is broken. It rebuilds trust where betrayal has shattered it, restores hope where despair has taken root, and fosters peace where conflict rages. It teaches us that strength is not about standing above others, but walking beside them, lifting them when they stumble, and allowing them to do the same for us. True compassion is not passive, it is active, intentional, and transformative. It calls us to confront injustices, to stand up against hate, and to create spaces where love can flourish. It demands that we not only feel for others, but act for them, using our hands, our voices, and our resources to make a difference. This strength is not bound by time or place. Compassion resonates across generations and cultures. It is universal, an unspoken language that all hearts understand. When we practice compassion, we tap into a wellspring of power that is as limitless as it is profound. And here is the secret: compassion does not diminish us. It does not take away from our strength. It multiplies it. Each act of compassion adds to a collective force, a ripple that grows into a wave capable of transforming entire communities, nations, and the world. So let us choose compassion, not as a fleeting emotion, but as a way of life. Let us see it for what it truly is. Not a softness that bends, but a resilience that endures, a strength that moves mountains and bridges divides. Let us carry this strength in our hearts, and in doing so, we will find that we not only change the world around us, but become the best versions of ourselves. Does this provide the depth and detail you were seeking? Let me know if you'd like further elaboration or any adjustments. In a world as vast and varied as ours, it can be tempting to focus on the things that divide us: skin color, language, culture, beliefs. These differences are often painted as barriers, walls that separate us into isolated corners. But the truth, the deep and undeniable truth, is that our differences are not our weakness. They are our strength, and unity across those differences is one of humanity's greatest powers. Unity does not mean sameness. It is not about erasing identities or blending into a single indistinguishable mold. Rather, unity celebrates the richness of our diversity. It is the symphony of many instruments playing in harmony, the vibrant mosaic where each piece retains its unique beauty yet contributes to a larger, breathtaking picture. When we come together across differences, we expand our understanding of the world. We see through eyes that have witnessed struggles we have not known and joys we have not experienced. We hear stories that deepen our empathy and broaden our perspective. It is through this connection that we begin to understand a profound truth. Beneath all the labels and categories, we are more alike than unalike. We share the same desires to love, to be loved, to belong, to matter. Unity requires effort and intention. It asks us to listen, not just to respond, but to understand. It challenges us to confront our biases and to dismantle the walls built by fear, ignorance, and misunderstanding. Unity invites us to reach across divides with open hands, not clenched fists. It demands that we see each other not as adversaries, but as allies in the shared journey of life. This unity is not just a lofty ideal, it is a necessity. The challenges we face today, climate change, inequality, conflict, and disease, do not respect borders or identities. They are global challenges, and they require global solutions. When we come together, pooling our wisdom, resources, and strengths, we become a force that no problem can withstand. History shows us the power of unity. Movements for justice, freedom, and peace have always been fueled by people from different walks of life, standing together. Whether it was the abolition of slavery, the fight for civil rights, or the push for gender equality, progress has always been driven by the courage to unite across differences. But unity is not only about grand movements or global issues. It is also about the everyday acts of connection. It is the neighbor who shares their traditions with you, the coworker who takes the time to understand your perspective, the stranger who smiles in recognition of your shared humanity. These small acts of unity build the foundation for something greater, creating ripples that can transform communities and beyond. Let us not be afraid of our differences. Let us not see them as divides, but as bridges. For when we come together, when we stand side by side and celebrate the full spectrum of humanity, we become unstoppable. Our unity does not erase our individuality, it amplifies it, allowing each voice to contribute to a powerful and harmonious whole. So I ask you to embrace the power of unity. Let it guide your actions, your conversations, and your relationships. Remember, the strength of humanity lies not in how we separate, but in how we come together. Let us be united, not in spite of our differences, but because of them. And in that unity, let us create a future that is brighter, fairer, and more beautiful than we can imagine. In this journey called life, struggle is an inescapable companion. It arrives uninvited, often unexpected, and usually in forms we never thought we could endure. Pain, loss, hardship, and adversity, they are as much a part of our human experience as joy, love, and success. And yet, within these struggles, there is a profound lesson to be learned. That resilience is not found in avoiding hardship, but in learning to stand tall, even when the weight of the world seems unbearable. Resilience is the quiet strength that rises from within when we face the darkest moments. It is the fire that burns in the hearts of those who refuse to surrender, who continue to fight, not for glory or recognition, but because they know that within their struggle lies the seed of their transformation. It is not about being unbreakable. It is about learning to bend without breaking, to endure without losing hope. Think of the oak tree standing firm against a powerful storm. The wind may howl, the branches may sway and creak, but the tree does not falter. It bends with the wind, allowing it to pass, and when the storm is over, it stands tall again, stronger and more rooted than before. This is what resilience looks like. It is not an absence of difficulty, but the ability to grow in the face of it, to turn our scars into symbols of strength. Resilience is not about going through life without pain. It is about learning how to move through pain and emerge on the other side with a deeper understanding of our own power. It teaches us that every struggle carries within it a lesson, an opportunity for growth. When we fall, resilience allows us to rise again. When we fail, it empowers us to try once more. And when we are faced with uncertainty, it grants us the courage to move forward, step by step, even when the road ahead is unclear. In moments of struggle, it is easy to believe that we are alone. We may feel as though the weight of the world is ours to carry, that no one can truly understand the depths of our pain. But resilience reminds us that we are never truly alone. It is found in the communities that rise to support us, in the friends who lend an ear, in the strangers who offer a helping hand. It is the collective strength that we draw from each other, the shared understanding that though our battles may differ, the spirit to overcome is the same. Resilience is also about acceptance. It teaches us to accept that life will not always go as planned, that challenges are an inevitable part of the human experience. It asks us to embrace the uncertainty, to recognize that hardship is not a sign of defeat, but an invitation to grow, learn, and adapt. We cannot always control the events that come our way, but we can control how we respond. Resilience empowers us to transform adversity into a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. One of the most profound aspects of resilience is its ability to transform us. Struggles have a way of revealing the depths of our strength, of showing us capabilities we never knew we had. Each hardship faced, no matter how painful, leaves us with a new understanding of ourselves. We discover that we are stronger than we believed, that we can endure more than we imagined, and that the human spirit, when fortified with resilience, can withstand even the greatest of challenges. The road to resilience is never linear. It is not a straight path, but a winding journey filled with ups and downs, victories and setbacks. And yet every step along the way we are learning, evolving, and growing. The struggles we face today become the wisdom we carry tomorrow. Resilience teaches us that no moment of hardship is wasted, that even in our lowest points, we are being shaped for something greater. So when you face your own struggles, do not despair. Know that resilience is already within you, waiting to be awakened. Embrace your challenges, for they are the forge in which your strength will be tempered. And when you find yourself bent under the weight of life, remember that the storm will pass and you will emerge not unscathed, but wiser, stronger, and more capable than ever before. In a world that often feels consumed by chaos, negativity, and division, it can be easy to feel as though our individual actions are too small to make a difference. But let me assure you, the truth is far from that. Every act of goodness, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is a powerful force capable of shifting the course of lives, of communities, and even of nations. The beauty of kindness lies not in its grandeur, but in its simplicity, in its ability to ripple outward from one heart to another, creating waves of change that can transcend time and space. Each individual act of goodness is like a pebble dropped into a vast, quiet lake. At first, the ripples seem small, perhaps unnoticed, but over time they spread, touching everything they come into contact with, creating an impact far greater than the initial act itself. It is the smile offered to a stranger on a gloomy day. It is the words of encouragement spoken to someone who has lost their way. It is the quiet moments of service, the small gestures of support that might seem unnoticed but carry with them the full weight of compassion. What is so remarkable about these acts is that they cost nothing but mean everything. They don't require wealth, fame, or status, only a heart that is willing to share. They can happen in an instant, and yet their effects can last a lifetime. When we give of ourselves, whether it is time, attention, kindness, or understanding, we create a world where goodness is multiplied, where the seeds of love and care can grow into something extraordinary. We often hear about the grand acts of heroism, the sweeping movements that change the world, and they are indeed important. But let us not forget that it is the collection of small acts that fuel these greater movements. It is the individual act of goodness that sparks the collective light. Think of the way the civil rights movement, the fight for equality, and the struggles for justice were powered not just by those in the spotlight, but by the countless individuals who took small steps, who wrote letters, made donations, volunteered, or simply reached out with compassion to someone in need. These individual efforts, though quiet, were the backbone of monumental change. In our everyday lives, we all have countless opportunities to practice goodness. The decision to help a neighbor with their groceries, to listen without judgment, to offer support without expectation. These are the things that bind us together as human beings. They build trust in communities, creating a sense of solidarity and mutual respect that goes far beyond any single interaction. And by that gesture, they grow our sense of connection to the absolute utmost and return us to the limitless. Each individual act of goodness is an affirmation that love, kindness, and empathy are not just ideals, but tangible actions that can be embodied in the world. And while we may not always see the immediate impact of our actions, trust that they are never wasted. In the same way that one match can light 1,000 others, one act of goodness can inspire a ripple effect of kindness. It may encourage another person to pay it forward, to share a moment of grace with someone else, and the cycle continues. The world begins to shift, one individual act of goodness at a time, until what was once a small spark becomes an unstoppable force. But there is a deeper truth here, a truth that makes these individual acts so powerful. When we give, we also receive. It is easy to think of kindness as something we offer to others, but in reality, acts of goodness fill our own hearts. They remind us of the goodness that exists within ourselves, the capacity we each have to make the world a better place. The more we give, the more we understand that in serving others, we are truly serving ourselves, for we are all part of the same human family. The impact of individual acts of goodness can be far-reaching in ways we cannot always predict. You may never know the full extent of how your kindness has transformed another's life. That smile you shared might have been the only light in someone's dark day. That moment of listening could have been the lifeline someone needed to keep going. And that word of encouragement might have given someone the courage to take the next step toward their dreams. These moments, often fleeting, carry a depth of meaning that we can't always measure. Yet they leave their mark on the hearts they touch. In the grand scheme of life, we are often told to chase big dreams to make monumental changes. But let us not overlook the power of the small, individual moments that shape our world. It is in these acts of goodness that we find our true power. We can all be agents of change, not because we can fix everything, but because we can make a difference in the lives of those around us. So let us commit to lives of goodness, not because it will bring us fame or fortune, but because it is the right and powerful thing to do. Let us be kind, be generous, be loving, and let those acts ripple out into the world. For in the end, it is not the grand gestures that define us. It is the individual acts of goodness, the quiet expressions of humanity that create the world we wish to see. There is a power that comes from understanding that we are all in this together, that the fate of one is tied to the fate of all. This is the essence of collective responsibility, the idea that each of us holds a piece of the larger puzzle, and what we do with our piece matters not just for ourselves, but for the entire picture. Collective responsibility is not about waiting for someone else to act or expecting a select few to bear the weight of the world alone. It is about recognizing that we all have a role to play in shaping the world around us, that we are interconnected, and that the choices we make resonate far beyond our individual lives. When we speak of collective responsibility, we speak of the recognition that no problem, no injustice, no challenge is the burden of one person alone. Whether it's the fight for social justice, environmental preservation, or the alleviation of poverty, these issues require the effort and cooperation of many hands. The truth is simple yet profound. We cannot thrive in isolation. It is only when we stand together, when we share the load and lend a helping hand, that we create a future where every person, every community has the chance to flourish. Every action we take, no matter how small, contributes to the collective whole. And in this, there is power. The power of individuals coming together, each bringing their unique skills, perspectives.
Good day, beautiful souls. There is something magical about the way the sun rises, stretching its golden fingers across the sky, touching even the darkest corners of the earth with light. And just like the sun, we too have a light within us, a light that is fueled by the power of positivity. Positivity is not about ignoring the struggles of life, pretending that pain does not exist, or dismissing the storms that shake us to our core. No, positivity is the ability to stand in the storm and say, "This will not break me." It is looking at failure and whispering, "You are just a lesson, not my end." I have known pain. I have known disappointment. I have danced with fear and sat in the company of doubt. And yet, I have also learned that when you refuse to let the weight of negativity hold you down, you rise higher than before, stronger than before. Positivity is a choice, and it is a choice we must make every single day. It is choosing to see the goodness in people, even when the world says otherwise. It is choosing to believe in yourself, even when no one else does. It is choosing to speak words of love, hope, and courage, because what we speak, we become. And so, my dear ones, let us choose wisely. Let us choose joy over bitterness, hope over despair, and love over fear. Let us stand tall, not just for ourselves, but for those who may not yet know the power they carry within. Because when we shine, we give others permission to shine too. Go forth with light in your heart and fire in your soul, because the power of positivity is not just about what it gives to you, it is about what it allows you to give to the world. It does not ask for permission to shine, nor does it choose only the most deserving places to touch. It spreads itself across mountains and valleys, across cities bustling with life and quiet villages tucked away in the corners of the world. It does not discriminate between the wealthy and the poor, the joyous and the sorrowful. It simply shines. Just like the sun, positivity has the power to transform the landscape of our lives. Imagine a garden deprived of light, it withers, it struggles, and it becomes barren. But the moment sunlight kisses the soil, life begins to stir. Flowers bloom, trees stand taller, and even the tiniest blades of grass reach upward with renewed purpose. The same is true for the human spirit. When we embrace positivity, we nourish our souls. We awaken to the possibilities that once seemed out of reach. Think of a cold, dark room that has been shut off from the world. The moment you open a window and let sunlight in, everything changes. The warmth drives away the chill, and what was once hidden in the shadows now becomes clear. Positivity does the same for our minds and hearts. It clears away self-doubt, melts away fear, and reveals a beauty that was always within us, just waiting to be seen. And just as sunlight does not hoard its brilliance, neither should we. When we carry a positive spirit, we illuminate the lives of those around us. A kind word, a moment of encouragement, a simple smile, these small acts like rays of sunlight have the power to bring warmth to someone standing in the cold. But let us also remember that just as the sun must rise each morning, positivity is something we must choose again and again. There will be cloudy days. There will be storms. But even on the darkest days, we must believe that above the clouds, the sun still shines. And if we hold on to that belief, if we keep moving forward with hope in our hearts, we will find that light once more. So be like the sun. Shine with all that you are. Spread warmth wherever you go. And no matter what life brings, never forget you were born to light up the world. It does not turn a blind eye to pain, nor does it pretend that hardship does not exist. Life, in all its beauty, also comes with storms, some gentle, some fierce, and some that shake us to our very core. But positivity is not about denying these storms, it is about finding the strength to stand tall in the midst of them. Too often, people mistake positivity for blind optimism, for a refusal to acknowledge difficulties, as if simply smiling through pain will make it disappear. But true positivity is not about avoidance, it is about resilience. It is about looking struggle in the eye and saying, "You may test me, but you will not defeat me." Consider a tree standing in the middle of a powerful storm. The winds push against it, the rain beats down, and the branches sway wildly. Some may even break. But the roots hold firm. They dig deep into the earth, drawing strength from below. Positivity is like those roots. It anchors us in faith, in hope, in the belief that no matter how fierce the storm, we will not be uprooted. We all face struggles, some personal, some shared with the world. There are moments when we feel lost, when the weight of our burdens presses so heavily upon us that we wonder if we will ever stand upright again. Heartbreak, disappointment, failure, these are all part of the human experience. But when we cultivate a mindset of positivity, we do not allow those struggles to define us. Instead, we allow them to refine us. The strongest people are not those who have never known hardship. They are the ones who have walked through fire and emerged stronger. They are the ones who have fallen but have chosen to rise again, even when their knees tremble. They are the ones who, even in the face of adversity, whisper to themselves, "I will not give up." And so, let us not mistake positivity for ignorance. Let us see it for what it truly is, a source of strength, a force of courage, a decision to rise, even when the world tries to pull us down. It does not erase struggle, but it transforms our response to it. It allows us to face hardship with grace, with determination, and with the unwavering belief that even in our darkest moments, there is still light to be found. Because struggles may shape us, but they do not have to break us. And positivity, true, unwavering positivity, is what helps us rise again and again. Positivity is not something that simply happens to us. It is not a gift given only to a select few, nor is it something we are born with or without. It is a choice one that we must make again and again in every season of life. Every day, from the moment we open our eyes, we are faced with a decision. Will we focus on what is wrong, on what we lack, on what has hurt us? Or will we choose to see the good, to seek out the light, to believe in possibility, even when life feels uncertain? Make no mistake, this choice is not always easy. Life will test us. There will be days when negativity feels like the easier path, when bitterness seems justified, when anger feels more natural than grace. There will be moments when it feels like the world has given us every reason to be cynical, when disappointment whispers in our ears, telling us that hope is foolish. But even then, especially then, we still have a choice. Choosing positivity does not mean ignoring pain, nor does it mean pretending that everything is perfect. It means deciding that no matter what comes our way, we will not be consumed by darkness. It means recognizing that we cannot always control what happens to us, but we can always control how we respond. Think of a traveler lost in the desert, surrounded by endless miles of sand and scorching heat. That traveler has two options: to collapse in despair, believing there is no hope, or to keep moving forward step by step, trusting that somewhere ahead there is an oasis. Positivity is that step forward. It is the refusal to give up, the willingness to believe that something better lies ahead. We must understand that positivity is not a one-time decision, it is a daily practice. Just like a muscle, it must be strengthened through use. The more we choose it, the easier it becomes. The more we train our minds to see the good, the more naturally gratitude, joy, and resilience flow through us. And when we choose positivity, we do not just change our own lives, we change the lives of those around us. Our energy, our attitude, our outlook, they are contagious. A single person choosing to see the good can inspire an entire room. A single act of kindness born from a positive heart can create ripples that spread farther than we ever imagined. So, let us choose wisely. Let us choose words that uplift instead of tear down. Let us choose to be hopeful even when fear tries to take hold. Let us choose to believe in love and growth, in second chances. Let us choose to wake up each day and say, no matter what comes, I will not be defeated. I will choose light. I will choose joy. I will choose to rise. Think about it. Every great achievement in history, every groundbreaking invention, every masterpiece of art, music or literature before it became real, it was first a thought. Before a towering building rises from the ground, it exists in the mind of an architect. Before a song is sung, it is a melody in the heart of a musician. Before a dream comes to life, it is a vision in the soul of a dreamer. And just as positive thoughts can create greatness, negative thoughts can destroy it. If you tell yourself you are not good enough, that you will fail, that life will never get better, then your actions will follow those beliefs. You will shrink, you will hesitate, you will allow fear to dictate your path. But if you tell yourself that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you have the power to overcome, then you will rise, you will push forward, and you will make things happen. Words are not just sounds that pass through the air. They carry energy. They can build up or break down, heal or wound, encourage or destroy. Think about the words you use every day, not just with others, but with yourself. Are they words of kindness, of confidence, of belief, or are they words of doubt, of limitation, of fear? Imagine speaking to a child. If you tell that child every day you are strong, you are smart, you are loved, they will grow into those words. They will believe them, and that belief will shape their actions in their life. But if you tell that same child you are not good enough, you will never succeed, those words will settle into their heart like heavy stones, weighing them down, before they even have the chance to rise. And here is the truth. We are all still that child. We are shaped by the words we repeat to ourselves. If we speak love, strength, and possibility into our own hearts, we will carry those things into the world. If we drown ourselves in negativity, we will live in that darkness. Our thoughts are just as powerful as our words. What we focus on expands. If you constantly think about your problems, they will consume you. If you focus on solutions, opportunities will begin to appear. If you think about what you lack, you will always feel empty. But if you focus on what you have, gratitude will fill your heart, and abundance will follow. Have you ever noticed that when you start your day with negative thoughts, everything seems to go wrong? The coffee spills, the traffic is bad, the smallest inconveniences feel unbearable. But when you begin your day with gratitude and optimism, the same challenges feel lighter, easier to handle. That is not luck, it is the power of your mindset. If we want to change our lives, we must start by changing our thoughts and words. We must be intentional about what we allow to live in our minds and what we speak into existence. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I am capable and I will figure it out. Instead of thinking nothing ever goes right for me, say, every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Instead of telling yourself, I am not enough, say, I am worthy, I am growing, and I have so much to offer. Because when you change your words, you change your mindset. And when you change your mindset, you change your actions. And when you change your actions, you change your life. So speak with love, think with hope. Believe in possibility, because the reality you create begins with the words you say and the thoughts you choose. We do not walk this journey of life alone. No matter how strong, independent, or self-sufficient we believe ourselves to be, our lives are woven together with those around us. And in that shared existence, we hold a responsibility, a duty to lift each other up. To uplift others is not simply an act of kindness, it is a necessity. Just as we need air to breathe and water to survive, the human soul needs encouragement, love, and support to thrive. A single act of kindness, a single word of encouragement, a single moment of belief in another person has the power to change a life. Think of a stone thrown into a still pond. The ripples spread outward, touching every part of the water's surface, growing larger than the stone itself. That is what happens when we uplift others. A simple smile, a kind will seem for the handy seem small in the moment, but their impact reaches far beyond what we can see. Have you ever been in a dark moment, feeling hopeless or invisible, when someone, maybe a stranger, maybe a loved one, said something that lifted your spirit? Maybe it was a teacher who believed in your potential, a friend who reminded you of your worth, or even a stranger who offered you kindness when you least expected it. Those moments stay with us. They shape us. And when we experience that kind of upliftment, we are reminded of how powerful it is to pass it on. We often underestimate the impact we can have. We tell ourselves it's not my place, or what difference will it make? But imagine if everyone thought that way. Imagine a world where no one took the time to lift another. What a lonely and cold place that would be. Instead, let us choose to create a world where compassion is abundant and kindness is our instinct. There is a beautiful truth about uplifting others that uplifts us too. When we bring light to someone else's life, we cannot help but feel its warmth ourselves. The joy of seeing someone smile because of something we did, the fulfillment of knowing we made a difference, the deep sense of connection that comes from helping another, all of these things enrich our own lives. Studies have shown that acts of kindness and compassion release endorphins, often referred to as the helper's high. When we do good, we feel good. It strengthens our emotional well-being, builds stronger relationships, and deepens our sense of purpose. The act of giving, whether time, encouragement, or support, fills the giver as much as the receiver. Now, imagine if we all made a conscious effort to uplift at least one person every single day. Imagine the collective energy of a world where encouragement is abundant, where kindness is the norm, where no one is left to struggle alone. It starts with us, with you, with me. We do not need to wait for a special occasion to uplift someone. We do not need permission to spread kindness. We can begin right now, in this moment, by choosing to see the good in people, by choosing to be the light that someone else may desperately need. Because at the end of the day, success is not measured by how high we climb alone, but by how many hands we extend on the way up. And if we lift others as we rise, then none of us will ever truly fall. So let us be the reason someone believes in goodness. Let us be the encouragement someone needs to keep going. Let us not just pass through this life, but truly make it better, not just for ourselves, but for everyone we touch along the way. Because when we uplift others, we uplift the world. Life is not always gentle. It will challenge us, push us to our limits, and test the very foundation of who we are. There will be times when the weight of the world feels unbearable, when failure knocks at our door, and when uncertainty fills the air like a thick fog. In those moments, it is not just strength that keeps us going, it is resilience. And at the very core of resilience lies one powerful force: positivity. Positivity is not about denying difficulties or pretending that pain does not exist. It is about embracing the struggle while believing that better days lie ahead. It is the mindset that allows us to look at hardship not as the end, but as an opportunity to grow. Without positivity, resilience weakens. Without resilience, we surrender too soon. But together they create a force that is unbreakable. Imagine a tree standing tall in the middle of a storm. The wind howls, the rain beats down, and its branches bend under the pressure. A weaker tree might snap in two, but a strong one with deep roots and flexible limbs, will withstand the storm. That strength does not come from resisting the wind, but from adapting to it. This is what resilience looks like. It is not about avoiding hardship, but about facing it with courage. And what gives us that courage? Positivity, the belief that no storm lasts forever, the faith that we are stronger than we think, the determination to stand tall, even when the world tries to pull us down. Every resilient person carries positivity in their heart. It does not mean they never struggle. It means they refuse to let struggle define them. They do not dwell on what went wrong, they focus on what they can do next. They do not see failure as defeat, they see it as a lesson. They do not let setbacks break them, they let them build strength. Our mindset shapes our ability to bounce back from hardship. When we approach challenges with negativity, we become trapped in fear and self-doubt. We tell ourselves, this is too hard, I'll never get through this. And so we hesitate, we retreat, we give up. But when we approach challenges with a positive mindset, our perspective shifts. We begin to say, this is tough, but I am tougher. This may take time, but I will figure it out. That simple shift in thinking fuels resilience. It pushes us forward when everything inside us wants to stop. Oh, instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, a positive mindset helps us see them as stepping stones. Every setback becomes a setup for a comeback. Oh, life is unpredictable. Plans change, dreams evolve, and unexpected difficulties arise. Positivity helps us embrace change rather than fear it. It reminds us that flexibility is key to survival. Or when we focus on the negative, we see only problems. When we focus on the positive, we start looking for solutions. Positivity trains the mind to ask, how can I make this work? Instead of, why is this happening to me? Oh, resilience is not just about pushing through, it is about growing through. Positivity helps us recognize that even in struggle, we are gaining wisdom, patience, and perseverance. Oh, those who maintain a positive outlook tend to recover from setbacks, whether emotional, mental, or physical, more quickly. They do not stay stuck in disappointment. They acknowledge their pain but refuse to let it control their future. History is filled with stories of individuals who refuse to let hardship define them. From leaders who overcame failures to athletes who trained through pain to everyday people who turned personal tragedy into purpose, the common thread among them all is the power of resilience fueled by positivity. Think of someone who inspires you. Perhaps it is someone who has faced immense struggles yet continues to move forward with grace. What keeps them going? It is not the absence of hardship, but the presence of belief, the belief that they are stronger than their circumstances. Positivity is the fire that keeps resilience burning. It is what allows us to rise every time we fall, to keep moving even when the road is unclear, to believe in the light even when surrounded by darkness. The strongest people are not those who have never faced difficulty. They are the ones who refuse to let difficulty defeat them. They carried hope in their hearts, even when hope seemed impossible. They chose to believe in themselves, even when the world doubted them. And if they can do it, so can we. So when life knocks you down, take a deep breath, find the strength within, and stand back up. Choose positivity, choose resilience, because together they will carry you farther than you ever imagined. Positivity is more than just a fleeting emotion or a feel-good idea. It is a force, a choice, and a way of life. It is the light that guides us through darkness, the strength that fuels resilience, and the gift that multiplies when shared. It does not ignore struggles, it transforms them. It does not erase challenges, it empowers us to face them. It is not a denial of pain, but a declaration that pain will not define us. Our words and thoughts shape our reality, influencing not only how we see the world, but how we move through it. When we choose to focus on hope instead of fear, on solutions instead of obstacles, and on gratitude instead of lack, we step into a life of limitless possibilities. But positivity is not just for us, it is something we must extend to others. We must uplift, inspire, and encourage, knowing that our kindness can be the spark that ignites someone else's strength. We must lift as we rise, for true success is not measured by how high we climb alone, but by how many people we bring with us. And when life tests us, as it surely will, we must remember this: positivity fuels resilience. It gives us the courage to stand when we want to fall, the wisdom to see lessons in hardship, and the endurance to keep moving forward when the road is long. So let us choose positivity every day and every moment. Let us speak words of hope, think thoughts of strength, and take actions that spread light. Because when we choose positivity, we do not just change our own lives, we change the world. And that is a power worth embracing.
Ladies and gentlemen, there are some among us who walk a little different. They don't strut, they don't stumble. They move with the quiet knowing of those who have been touched by something greater than the eye can see. Oh yes, you've seen them. Maybe you are one of them. They rise before the sun, whispering prayers into the dawn, carrying dreams in their chests like burning coals. They do not wail when the road turns cruel, nor do they break when the wind howls wild. There is a tale whispered in the wind, a truth carried in the bones of those who have walked through fire and stood tall on the other side. It is the truth of the chosen, the ones marked not by favor, not by birthright, but by trial, by endurance, by a spirit that refuses to bow. No, the chosen are not simply born. They are not handed their greatness on a silver plate. They are forged. They are made in the unseen hours, in the quiet moments when no one is watching, when the soul is tested in the dark and still decides to reach for the light. They are carved by the hands of struggle, by the chisels of failure, by the relentless storms that break the weak but shape the strong. You have seen them. Maybe you are one of them. They are the ones who do not complain when the road turns cruel, who do not crumble when life says no. They take that no and mold it into a bridge. They take rejection and turn it into a reason to try again. When they fall, they do not stay down, and when they rise taller, wiser, fiercer than before. This world does not hand out greatness freely. It demands a price. It asks, how much will you give? How far will you go? Will you carry your dreams when they are heavy? Will you stand when your knees beg to kneel? And the chosen answer with action. They keep moving. They keep building. They keep believing. Pain has been their teacher and struggle has been their mentor. Not a gentle guide, no, but a force that stripped them of weakness, that showed them their own power. There is no smooth path for the ones meant for something greater. Their road is steep. Their climb is endless, but step by step they rise. Some will look at them and think they were always strong, that they were always certain. But what they do not see are the nights of doubt, the moments of breaking, the days when everything inside them screamed to stop, and yet they did not. That is what makes them chosen, not the absence of fear, but the courage to walk forward anyway. Every scar, every loss, every tear that fell unseen became part of the story, the making, the transformation. The fire did not consume them, it refined them. The storm did not destroy them, it revealed who they truly were. And now when they stand, when they speak, when they step into their purpose, they do so with the strength of 1,000 battles fought and won. If you have known struggle, if you have walked through darkness, if you have felt the weight of dreams that seem impossible to reach, then hear me now, you too are being forged. You too are being shaped. The fire you feel now is not meant to destroy you, but to prepare you. And when the time comes, when you rise, when you step into the fullness of who you were meant to be, you will know the struggle was never meant to break you. It was meant to build you. Because only the chosen can carry the weight of greatness, and only the chosen will rise. There are marks that cannot be seen by the eye, but they are there. They are carried in the heart, in the mind, in the spirit of those who have been tested and have not wavered. These marks are not given easily, nor are they worn like medals pinned to a chest. They are deeper than that, carved into the soul by fire, by faith, by the kind of perseverance that does not ask for recognition. Some people search for proof, for visible signs of strength, for trophies that say, I have conquered. But the chosen do not need such things. Their victories are written in the way they carry themselves, in the way they keep walking when the world says stop, in the way they hold their head high when life tries to make them small. These invisible marks are not for display, they are for endurance. They are the armor that cannot be removed, the weight that cannot be shared, the silent proof that a person has walked through the storm and come out the other side. Not everyone will understand. Some will look at the chosen and see nothing extraordinary. They will wonder why these people move the way they do, why they refuse to break, why they hold on to hope what's not up when everything seems lost. But that is because they do not see the marks. They do not see the nights spent in quiet battles, the days spent building when nothing seemed to stand, the moments when everything inside them screamed to quit, yet they pressed on. The chosen do not need to announce their struggles, for their presence speaks for them. You can see it in their eyes, the wisdom, the fire, the knowing. You can hear it in their voice, the depth, the certainty, the rhythm of someone who has fought and survived. They do not move with arrogance, but with understanding. They do not seek attention, but purpose. Their strength is not in their words, but in their actions. These marks are not given by chance. They are earned. Every hardship, every loss, every disappointment has left an imprint, not as a wound, but as a lesson. Where others see scars, the chosen see stories. Where others see burdens, they see blessings. It is not about what was taken from them. It is about what was left behind: resilience, wisdom, an unshakable belief that they were made for more. And because they have these marks, they carry themselves differently. They do not move with fear because they have already faced their darkest nights. They do not shrink before challenges because they have already conquered themselves. They do not waste time proving their worth because they know who they are. And that is the power of these invisible marks. They remind the chosen that they have already survived worse, that they have already been tested, that they have already been prepared for whatever comes next. If you have felt the weight of struggle, if you have walked through pain that no one else could see, if you have risen from moments that should have broken you, then know this: you too carry these invisible marks. They are not a curse, they are a gift. They are proof that you have been chosen, that you have been shaped for something greater, that you are stronger than even you realize. So wear them proudly, walk boldly. Move with the quiet confidence of one who has been through the fire and did not burn. because the world may not see your marks, but the path ahead will know your strength. And when the time comes, you will stand unshaken, unbowed, knowing that only the chosen can carry such marks, and only the chosen will rise. There is a weight that only a few can carry. It is not the weight of burdens meant to break, nor of suffering meant to destroy. No, this weight is different. It is the weight of purpose, of destiny, of a calling so deep that it refuses to be ignored. It does not rest on just anyone's shoulders. It seeks out the strong, the relentless, the ones who have been through fire and learned how to rise from the ashes. You have seen them. Maybe you are one of them. The ones who walk as if they are carrying something unseen, something greater than themselves. They are not the loudest in the room, but their presence speaks. They are not always celebrated, yet they keep moving. They do not chase after fleeting applause, because their mission is bigger than a moment. It is woven into the very fabric of their being. This weight is not given lightly. It tests before it chooses. It watches who stands in the storm and who bows. It watches who keeps going when there is nothing left to hold on to. It does not seek out the ones who only want comfort, who only want ease, who only want the rewards without the work. No, it looks for those who can carry it with grace, who can endure the struggle without bitterness, who can rise even when everything in them feels heavy. There will be days when it feels too much, when the road ahead seems endless and the strength to go on seems to slip away. There will be nights when the mind is filled with doubt, when the heart whispers, maybe this is not for me. But the chosen do not quit. They do not put down the weight simply because it is heavy. They do not walk away from their calling just because it is hard. They adjust their grip, they take a breath, and they move forward step by step, knowing that the weight they carry is also what shapes them. Some will ask, why must it be so hard? But purpose does not come without struggle. Greatness does not come without sacrifice. The strongest are not those who have never known pain, but those who have turned pain into wisdom, hardship into power. The weight of purpose does not weaken, it strengthens. It does not break, it builds. And though the chosen carry this weight, they do not carry it alone. For within them is something greater than fear, greater than exhaustion, greater than doubt. Within them is the fire that does not die, the resilience that does not fade, the voice that whispers, keep going, even when no one else understands. Not everyone will see what they carry. Not everyone will understand why they do not give up, why they do not choose the easier path. But the chosen do not need approval. They do not need permission to walk in their purpose. They do not need validation to know that they were made for something more. And so they keep going. They carry what is theirs to carry, knowing that the weight of purpose is not a burden, it is a gift. And those who can bear it, those who can endure it, those who can rise under its weight will know the truth. Only the chosen can carry it, and only the chosen will rise. The storm comes for everyone. It does not ask permission. It does not knock before it enters. It does not care for your plans, your comfort, or timing. It arrives uninvited, wild, and unforgiving, shaking everything you thought was certain. Some will run. Some will hide. Some will curse the sky, begging for clearer days, pleading for the winds to calm. But not the chosen. No, the chosen stand in the storm. They do not crumble when the thunder roars. They do not break when the rain falls heavy. They do not fall to their knees and ask why, because they already know the answer. The storm does not come to destroy them. It comes to reveal them. It strips away the illusions. It washes away the weak. It leaves only what is real, only what is strong, only what was meant to last. The storm is not the enemy, it is the test, and only the ones who were built for something greater can withstand it. You can always tell who they are. They do not panic when the wind howls. They do not tremble when the world shakes. They walk through the chaos with steady steps, knowing that what is meant for them cannot be taken, knowing that no storm lasts forever. They may bend, but they do not break. They may struggle, but they do not surrender. They carry the fire inside them, and no amount of wind can blow it out. Some will ask, how do they do it? How do they stand when everything is falling? How do they hold their ground when the waves rise? But they do not see the years of preparation. They do not see the silent battles fought long before the storm arrived. They do not see the nights of doubt turn into mornings of determination. The chosen have been through storms before, and they have learned that survival is not about strength alone, it is about resilience. A storm can break those who were never meant to carry something greater, but the chosen are different. They do not fear the storm because they know who they are. They know that the winds may howl, but they will not be swept away. They know that the rain may fall, but they will not drown. They know that the sky may grow dark, but the sun always rises again. And when the storm passes, as it always does, they are still there, standing, stronger, wiser, unshaken. The world will look at them and wonder how they made it through. But the chosen will only smile because they always knew they were never meant to be defeated. They were meant to endure. Because only the chosen can stand in the storm, and only the chosen will rise. The road stretches long before them, winding and uncertain. It is not paved with ease, not lined with comfort, not softened by guarantees. It is rough, demanding, unforgiving. Many will begin the journey, their hearts full of dreams, their minds brimming with ambition. But not all will reach the end. Some will falter at the first sign of struggle. Some will turn back when the path grows steep. Some will grow weary and stop moving altogether. But the chosen, oh, the chosen do not turn back. They do not ask for the road to be made easy. They do not beg for shortcuts or search for another way. They do not stop when their legs ache or their spirit wavers. They keep going because they know that destiny does not call the faint-hearted. It calls the ones who are willing to walk alone when necessary. It calls the ones who can keep moving even when the weight grows heavy. It calls the ones who understand that the path is not meant to be smooth, it is meant to shape them. Every step taken through hardship strengthens them. Every mile walked through struggle builds them. Every obstacle faced with courage transforms them into who they were always meant to be. It is not an easy thing to walk a road that many fear. It is not an easy thing to keep believing when the way forward is unclear. It is not an easy thing to press on when exhaustion whispers stop. But the chosen were never meant for easy. They were meant for greatness, and greatness demands endurance. Some will watch them and wonder how they do it. How do they keep going when there's no applause? How do they push forward when every reason says to give up? How do they stay faithful to a path that offers no promises, only challenges? But those who ask such questions do not understand the chosen. They do not see the fire that burns in them, the unshakable knowing that they are meant for more. They do not see the quiet strength that keeps them rising, keeps them striving, keeps them believing. The road is long. The journey is hard. And there will be moments of doubt, moments when even the strongest wonder if they can go on. But the chosen will take another step, and another, and another. They will move forward even when the world gives them every reason to stop, because they know that their destiny is waiting not at the beginning, not in the middle, but at the end of the road. And when they arrive, when they stand at the place they fought so hard to reach, they will know that every step was worth it. Every struggle, every sacrifice, every moment of doubt conquered by determination. They will stand tall, unbowed, unbroken, and the world will finally see what they knew all along. Only the chosen have the strength to walk the longest road, and only the chosen will rise. They will fall. Oh yes, they will fall. Even the strongest, even the boldest, even the ones marked for something greater. They will stumble, they will be knocked down. They will taste the bitterness of failure. Some will say that falling is the end. That once you are down, you stay down. That once you lose, you are meant to remain lost. But the chosen know better. They know that falling is not failure, staying down is. And so they rise again. It is not an easy thing to do, to stand back up after life has pushed you to your knees, to look defeat in the face and say, not today. To gather what is left of your strength when it feels like you have none at all. But the chosen do not rise because it is easy. They rise because they must. There will be those who watch them fall and shake their heads. This is it, they will say. This is where it ends. But they do not know the ones they are watching. They do not know the fire that burns within them, the purpose that refuses to be silenced, the resilience that cannot be erased. The chosen are not defined by how many times they have fallen. They are defined by how many times they have risen. Their strength is not in never knowing struggle, but in refusing to let struggle defeat them. Their power is not in avoiding hardship, but in using hardship to grow stronger. It would be easy to stay down, to let the weight of failure press them into the ground, to surrender to doubt, to listen to the voice that whispers, "This is too hard." But they do not. They take a breath, they push against the weight, and they rise. Even when it hurts, even when it seems impossible, even when the world says, "Stay where you are." And when they stand again, they are not the same as before. They are stronger, wiser, more determined than ever. Every fall has taught them something, has shaped them, has prepared them for what is ahead. They do not regret the falls because without them, they would not be who they are. The world may not understand. Some may wonder how they keep going after so many setbacks, so many disappointments. But the chosen do not need the world's understanding. They do not need approval or permission or reassurance. They rise because they cannot do anything else. They rise because they were made for more. And so they continue. They walk forward with scars that tell stories of battles fought and won. They move with a quiet strength that does not need to be announced. They carry with them the knowledge that no matter how many times they fall, they will always rise. Because only the chosen have that kind of resilience. Only the chosen refuse to surrender. And only the chosen will rise. There comes a moment when everything changes. A moment when the journey, the trials, the storms, the struggles, all of it finally makes sense. It does not come early, and it does not come easily. It comes only to those who have walked through the fire, those who have stood against the winds, those who have fallen and risen more times than they can count. It comes only to the chosen. This moment is not loud, it's not wrapped in applause or decorated with grand celebrations. No, it is quiet, powerful, and in its simplicity. It is the moment when they realize that they were never just surviving. They were being shaped. They were being prepared. Every hardship, every challenge, every test was not meant to destroy them, it was meant to awaken them. The chosen do not wake up to find themselves suddenly strong. No, they wake up and realize they have been strong all along, that the invisible marks they carry are not wounds but wisdom, that the struggles were never punishments but lessons, that the weight they had been carrying was never meant to break them but to make them unshakable. And when this realization comes, something shifts. They stop waiting for validation. They stop seeking approval. They stop apologizing for their power, for their resilience, for their place in this world. They move differently. They speak with certainty. They walk with a confidence that does not need to be explained. Because they know deep in their bones, deep in their soul, they were made for this. Not everyone will understand. Some will question their strength. Some will wonder how they kept going when others gave up. Some will see the ease with which they now carry themselves and think it came without struggle. But the chosen do not explain. They do not try to convince anyone of their worth. They do not waste time proving themselves. They simply keep moving, keep rising, keep walking in the purpose that was always theirs. They no longer fear the storms. They no longer resent the journey. They no longer regret the falls. Because now they understand every step, every trial, every moment of doubt was leading them here, to this place, to this version of themselves, and now they stand unshaken, unbowed. They have nothing to prove and everything to give. They carry the fire, the wisdom, the strength that only the chosen can possess. They do not shrink to make others comfortable. They do not dim their light to please the crowd. They rise fully, completely, without hesitation, because this is what they were made for. This is who they have always been. And now the world will see it too. And so, to those who carry the unseen marks, to those who have walked through fire and refused to burn, to those who have risen from the depths of struggle with their spirit unbroken, know this: you are not here by accident. You were not given this journey because it was easy. You were given it because you were strong enough to bear it. Every storm you have faced, every battle you have fought, every moment you thought would break you has only made you stronger. You have walked the longest road, carried the heaviest weight, and still you rise. You rise because you are chosen. You rise because you were always meant to. Now is your time. Stand in your power. Walk in your purpose. Move forward without fear, knowing that you have already been tested, already been proven, already been prepared. The world may not always see the marks you carry, but they will feel the presence of your strength. They will know, without a doubt, that you are one of the few, the ones who endure, the ones who overcome, the ones who rise. So go forth with courage, with confidence, with the quiet knowing that no matter what lies ahead, you will meet it as you always have, unshaken, unbowed, and unstoppable. Good luck on your journey. And thank you for standing, for striving, for rising. The world is better because you do. Good evening, everyone. My dear brothers, my dear sisters, my dear dreamers. Come close now. Come close and listen. I want to tell you something, and I want you to hear it not just with your ears, but with your spirit. Close your eyes for a moment. Close them and see. Not the darkness, not the stillness, but the fire. The light inside of you, burning, glowing, rising. See it, feel it. Hold it close. That light is your future. It is your hope. It is your power. It is waiting for you to believe in it, because let me tell you something. You cannot step into what you cannot see. You cannot walk the road if you don't know where the road leads. Now, I'm not talking about wishing on stars and hoping the wind carries you where you want to go. No. I am talking about seeing yourself there. I am talking about standing in the world you dream of before the world even knows your name. My dear dreamers, come close now. Closer. I want you to listen with more than your ears. I want you to listen with your heart, with your spirit, with the very part of you that knows deep down that you were meant for something greater, something bolder, something brighter than where you stand now. But let me tell you something that the world won't always say out loud. You will never become what you cannot see. You will never touch what you do not reach for. Before your hands can hold it, before your feet can walk it, before your name is whispered in places you dream of, you must first arrive in your mind. See it first. See yourself standing where you belong. See yourself walking through doors that have yet to open. See yourself wearing success like it was stitched just for you. Because, my dear ones, your mind must arrive before your body ever does. There are people who wait for the world to tell them who they can be. They wait for permission, for approval, for a sign carved in stone. And while they wait, the dreamers are already walking forward. The dreamers, the believers, the ones who dare to see what does not yet exist, they are already moving. You must be one of them. You must be the one who sees your future so clearly, so vividly, that it feels more real than the ground beneath your feet. Because when you can see it, when you can taste it, when you can already hear the sound of your name spoken in places you've never been, then you will walk with a purpose the world cannot shake. Now, some will say, but what if I dream too big? What if I see too far? My dear, that is not the question. The real question is, what if you don't? What if you limit yourself before life even has the chance to show you what is possible? What if you shrink your vision to fit inside the small box the world has handed you? You must dare to see beyond your circumstances, beyond your doubts, beyond what they told you was possible. Because the moment you see it, the moment you believe it, the moment you hold that vision so tight that nothing can pry it from your grasp, the world will have no choice but to bend. It will have no choice but to make room for you. The greatest minds that ever lived, every innovator, every leader, every soul who changed the world, they saw their victories before they ever stepped into them. They lived inside their vision before anyone else believed it. They did not wait for proof, for evidence, for a crowd of applause. They saw it first, and then they walked toward it as if it was already theirs. And so must you. When you wake up in the morning, see yourself there. When you close your eyes at night, picture it again, every day, every hour, every moment. See yourself stepping into the life that is already waiting for you. Not someday, not when things are easier, not when the world decides you are ready, but now. Because your mind is your greatest power. It is the first step, the foundation, the road you must walk before the world even knows your name. And if you can see it truly, deeply, with unwavering certainty, then, my dear dreamer, it is already yours. Listen with your heart, with your soul, with the part of you that knows there is more waiting for you beyond the place where you stand. I need you to understand something so powerful, so undeniable, that once you grasp it, you will never see your life the same way again. What you focus on expands. What you feed will grow. What you give your energy, your time, your belief, it will shape the world you walk in. If you spend your days feeding your fears, nurturing your doubts, giving all your strength to the things that hold you back, then don't be surprised when those things stand tall and wide before you, blocking your path. Don't be surprised when fear grows stronger, when doubt takes root, when the walls you swore you would climb only seem to rise higher, because that is what happens when you water the wrong seeds. But my dear dreamers, hear me now. Just as fear grows when you feed it, so does faith. Just as doubt strengthens when you give it power, so does belief. If you take that same energy, that same focus, and pour it into your vision, your purpose, your dreams, watch what happens. Watch how doors start to open, how paths begin to clear, how the impossible begins to bow beneath the weight of your unwavering belief. It is a choice. Every single day, it is a choice. You wake up in the morning, and the world hands you two plates, one filled with fear, the other with faith. One filled with the voices that say you are not enough, that you cannot do it, that you should stay where it's safe. And the other, oh, the other is filled with the fire that says, yes, you can, yes, you will, yes, you must. Tell me, which one will you choose? Which one will you let take root in your mind, in your heart, in your very soul? Because that choice will shape the road beneath your feet. That choice will decide how high you rise or how low you stay. You see, the most powerful people in this world, the ones who change the game, the ones who step into places no one thought they could go, they understand this truth. They know that energy flows where attention goes. They know that if they focus on failure, failure will meet them at the door. But if they focus on victory, if they see only the light, if they speak only of triumph, then that is what will rise to greet them. And you, my dear ones, must do the same. Do not let your fears grow taller than your dreams. Do not let your doubts take up more space than your vision. When you feel yourself slipping, when the world whispers, not you, when the road looks too long, too hard, too uncertain, shift your focus. Look ahead, look beyond, look straight into the eyes of the future you are creating, and do not blink, because what you focus on expands. The more you believe in your power, the stronger it becomes. The more you trust your vision, the clearer the path appears. The more you pour your energy into becoming all that you are meant to be, the faster the world moves to catch up with you. So make your choice. Feed your vision, not your fears. Speak of possibility, not limitation. Water the seeds of greatness and watch how they rise to meet the sky. Because the life you dream of is already waiting for you. It just needs you to see it, to believe it, to feed it with everything you have. My dear dreamers, listen close. Come near with your hearts wide open, with your spirits ready to receive. Because today I need you to hear me not just with your ears, but with the deepest part of your soul. Your imagination is a blueprint. It is not just a fleeting thought, not just a passing daydream that drifts in and out like a breeze. No, my dear ones. It is a design, a foundation, a structure waiting to be built. Every great thing that has ever come to be was first a whisper in someone's mind. Every towering building, every brilliant invention, every world-changing idea, once it was nothing more than a vision. And just like the greatest architects do not build without a plan, you too must create the blueprint of your life. You must see the details, the foundation, the walls, the heights to which you will rise, because without it, how will you know where to go? Without it, how will you know what to build? You cannot build greatness on vague wishes. You cannot create success from half-drawn dreams. Your vision must be clear, deliberate, bold. You must see yourself there, not just in glimpses, not just in hopes, but in full color, in full form, in every single detail. Do you see yourself standing in that office, leading with confidence? Then imagine the desk, the chair, the way the sunlight spills across the room. Do you see yourself walking across that stage, accepting the reward for your hard work? Then feel the weight of the medal, hear the roar of the crowd, taste the victory before it even comes. This is not pretending, this is preparing. This is setting the framework for the life you are about to step into. Because a mind that is sure, a vision that is clear, a heart that is unwavering, those things move mountains, clear paths, make a way where there was none before. But listen now, because here's the truth many forget. Blueprints mean nothing if you do not build. You cannot spend your days drawing the plans, perfecting the details, seeing the dream so clearly in your mind, and then do nothing to bring it to life. No, my dear ones, you must lay brick upon brick. You must take the hammer in your hands, shape the world as you see it, and build boldly, build deliberately. And yes, there will be days when the foundation feels weak, when the winds blow hard, when the walls seem too high to climb. But that is when you return to your blueprint. That is when you remember the vision. That is when you remind yourself, this life, this dream, this purpose, it is yours to build. No one else will do it for you. No one else will see it the way you do. That is why it was given to you. That is why it burns so brightly inside you, because you and only you hold the blueprint to your own destiny. So, my dear dreamers, do not waste another moment staring at empty ground, waiting for something to rise. Take your vision, take your fire, take your hands, and build what only you can. Because the world is waiting for what you have yet to create. And the only thing standing between you and the life you are meant to live is the courage to build it. Listen not just with your ears, but with your heart, your spirit, your very soul. Because today I want you to understand something that will change the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you step into your own power. Dream in detail, not in shadows, not in pieces, not in scattered fragments that slip through your fingers before you can hold them. Dream with clarity, with certainty, with a vision so sharp it feels like you can reach out and touch it. Because clarity of vision creates certainty of action. And when you know exactly where you are going, the road will begin to shape itself beneath your feet. You see, the world is filled with people who dream in whispers, who dream in the language of someday, of maybe, of if only. They wish upon stars, hoping that luck will bring them what they desire. But you, my dear dreamers, must not be one of them. You must not leave your future in the hands of chance. You must dream with precision, with focus, with a vision so clear that even the universe has no choice but to align itself with your destiny. When you close your eyes at night, do not just see success. See the details. See yourself standing in the room where your victory awaits. See the way the light falls through the window. Feel the air in your lungs. Hear the sound of your name spoken in places you have yet to enter. If you dream of building something great, do not just see the finished masterpiece. See the pieces, the steps, the work that will bring it to life. Because when your dream is clear, your path is clear. When your vision is certain, your actions become certain. The problem is never that people don't dream. The problem is that they dream in vague shapes, in blurry outlines, in distant wishes that never take form. And without form, without shape, without certainty, how will you ever bring it to life? You must train your mind to see every detail, to feel it, to know it, to step inside the world you are building before it even exists. Because the more clearly you see it, the more real it becomes. And the more real it becomes, the stronger your steps will be. Some will tell you to be realistic, to keep your dreams small, to only believe in what you can see with your eyes. But let me tell you this, everything that exists today, everything that has ever changed the world was once just a dream in someone's mind. Every invention, every masterpiece, every revolution, it all began with someone who dared to see beyond the present, beyond the ordinary, beyond what was already there. And you, my dear ones, must do the same. You must hold your vision so clearly that no doubt, no fear, no failure can shake it, because the world will try. It will try to blur your focus, to make you question your path, to tell you that your dream is too big, too wild, too impossible. But when you have seen it in detail, when you have already lived it in your mind, nothing can make you believe otherwise. So do not dream in half measures. Do not see only the outline, see the masterpiece. See the fine lines, the colors, the textures, the depth. Feel the moment before it arrives. Speak of your future as if it is already yours. Move with the certainty of someone who has already stepped into their destiny. Because when you know where you are going, when you see it so clearly that it feels as real as the ground beneath you, there is nothing, no obstacle, no doubt, no fear that can stand in your way. My dear ones, come close. Let me tell you something that will shift the very way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the way you command the world to listen when you speak. Because words, my dear dreamers, are not just sounds, they are power. They are the architects of reality, the builders of futures, the foundation upon which your dreams will stand or fall. Speak as if it's already yours. Speak not with hesitation, not with doubt, not with the timid voice of someone asking for permission. No, speak with the certainty of someone who knows deep in their bones that what they are reaching for is already within their grasp. Speak as if the doors have already opened, as if the victory is already won, as if the dream is no longer a dream, but a truth waiting to be lived, because the universe listens to conviction. The world moves for those who declare, not those who whisper, not those who question, but those who say with unwavering certainty, this is mine. And it is not arrogance, it is not wishful thinking, it is not empty words floating on the wind. It is faith, it is knowing, it is the force that turns vision into reality. Some will say, but I do not see it yet. And I will tell you this, sight is not the proof of truth. You do not wait for the sunrise before you believe the dawn is coming. You do not wait to see the harvest before you plant the seed. You do not wait for the world to give you permission before you speak your future into existence. You must declare it before it arrives. You must walk like the ground beneath you was built for you. You must speak like the world is already shaping itself around your words, because it is. Now listen, because here is where most people fail. They speak, but they contradict themselves in the same breath. They say, I will be successful, but in the next moment they say, if things work out. They say, I am going to make it, but then I just hope it's possible. No, my dear ones, no. The universe does not respond to uncertainty. It does not move for those who doubt themselves even as they dream. It moves for those who speak without fear, without hesitation, without apology. You must speak as if your future is already waiting for you, as if the dream is already yours, because the truth is, it is. It is already there, already formed, already reaching back for you. The only thing left is for you to match its energy, to rise to meet it, to walk toward it with the kind of boldness that makes the very air shift when you enter a room. And yes, there will be those who doubt you. There will be those who question, who scoff, who shake their heads and say, who do you think you are? And to them, you will smile. You will not argue. You will not defend. You will not shrink. You will simply continue walking, continue speaking, continue building the reality you know is already yours. Because, my dear ones, your words are a contract with the future. They are the seeds of your destiny. And every word you speak plants something, doubt or belief, weakness or power, failure or victory. So choose wisely. Speak only of what you are becoming. Speak only of what you are building. Speak only of the greatness that is rising within you. And do not waver, do not question, do not let the world make you small. Listen to me now. Lean in, open your hearts, and hear this truth that will shift the way you move through this world. Because today, I want you to understand something that most people never grasp, something that separates the ones who dream from the ones who do. You must feel the victory before it arrives, not after, not when the world claps for you, not when the reward is in your hands, but now. Before the doors open, before the path clears, before the moment arrives, you must already carry the feeling of success within you, because feeling is the language of creation. Feeling is what tells the universe, I am ready. You see, the ones who wait to celebrate, who wait to believe, who wait to feel victorious only after they see proof, those are the ones who never quite reach where they were meant to go. They stand on the edge of possibility, looking out, waiting for the world to give them a sign. But my dear dreamers, the world does not give signs to the hesitant. It does not move for the uncertain. It moves for the ones who already know, who already feel, who already carry the energy of victory before the victory has even arrived. You must be one of them. You must walk with the confidence of someone who has already won. You must speak with the certainty of someone who has already stepped into their greatness, because when you do, the world will have no choice but to rise and meet you. And I know what some will say, but how can I feel victorious when I am still struggling? How can I celebrate something that has not yet come? And to that I say, look around you. Look at every great leader, every trailblazer, every soul who has ever changed the world. They did not wait for proof. They did not wait for applause. They did not wait for the world to say, now you may believe. No, they felt the victory first. They carried it within them long before the world saw it. And that, my dear ones, is the secret. That is the power. Because the mind does not know the difference between what is imagined and what is real. If you feel success now, if you live inside the energy of victory before it comes, you begin to move differently, think differently, act differently. And when you do, success becomes inevitable. When you wake up in the morning, do not wait for something good to happen before you feel good. Feel it first. When you step into a new opportunity, do not wait for someone to tell you that you belong. Know it first. When you walk toward your dreams, do not wait for permission to believe they are yours. Claim them first. Because here's what will happen. When you feel victorious before the victory, your energy shifts, your posture straightens, your voice steadies, your presence commands attention. People will see something in you, something they can't quite name, something magnetic, powerful, undeniable. And that something, my dear ones, is belief. That something is the energy of someone who has already seen the victory, already felt it, already decided that it is theirs. And the world responds to that kind of certainty. Opportunities open, people listen, the impossible begins to bend. Not because luck has found you, not because fate has favored you, but because you have aligned yourself so deeply with your vision that reality has no choice but to catch up. So do not wait. Do not wait for the world to tell you that you are worthy. Do not wait for proof before you believe. Do not wait for the victory before you celebrate. Feel it now. Carry it now. Live inside it now. Because when you do, the victory will not be a matter of if, but when. My dear ones, come close. Listen with a kind of listening that doesn't just reach your ears, but settles deep in your bones. Because today I want to leave you with something that will shift the very way you move, the way you rise, the way you claim what is yours in this world. You must act as if it is already real, not tomorrow, not when the world gives you a sign, not when someone tells you that you are ready. But now, right now, this very moment, because let me tell you a truth that too many ignore. Belief without action is just a wish. A vision without movement is nothing but a beautiful illusion. You can dream, you can see it, you can speak it, you can feel it deep in your soul. But if you do not act, if you do not move, if you do not put your hands to work, then all of it will remain just that, a dream. And you were not born to just dream. You were not born to live in the space between wanting and doing. You were born to create, to build, to step into the life that was meant for you. And the only way to do that is to act. Not when you feel ready, because you may never feel ready. Not when the road is clear, because the road is built only by those who dare to walk it. Not when you have all the answers, because answers come to those who begin, not those who wait. You must act as if the dream is already yours, as if the success is already written, as if the life you have been imagining is simply waiting for you to step into it. Walk with the confidence of someone who knows where they are going, even if the path is still unfolding beneath their feet. Speak with the authority of someone who belongs, even if no one else has yet recognized it. Move with the certainty of someone who has already arrived, even if you are just beginning. Because here is what will happen. The world will take notice. The universe will begin to shift. People will start to treat you as the person you claim to be. Doors will open because you are already walking toward them with the boldness of someone who believes they are meant to enter. And yes, there will be fear. Yes, there will be moments when doubt creeps in, whispering all the reasons why you should wait, why you should hesitate, why you should step back instead of forward. But listen to me now. Fear is not a reason to stop. Fear is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. Because fear only shows up when you are standing at the edge of something greater. So do not wait for permission. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for someone else to tell you that you are ready. The moment you decide, the moment you move, the moment you take that first bold step, that is the moment your dream stops being a dream and starts becoming your reality. Act as if it is already real, because the truth is it already is. You just have to step forward and claim it. My dear ones, you have heard me, not just with your ears, but with your spirit, with the fire that has always lived inside you. Now there is only one thing left to do: go and become. No more waiting, no more doubting, no more hoping without moving. You have seen the vision, you have felt the victory, you have spoken your future into existence. Now take it, build it, walk into it with the boldness of someone who knows they were always meant for more. The world does not give dreams to the weak. It does not place fire in the hearts of those who cannot carry it. If you have seen it, if you have felt it, if it has burned in you long enough to survive every doubt, every fear, every delay, then it is yours. It has been yours all along. So go forward with courage. Step boldly into the life that is waiting for you. And never forget, the power has always been in your hands. Good luck, my dear dreamers. The world is waiting for you, and I am cheering for you every step of the way. Thank you.